With me in studio is our SABC Deputy Sport Editor, Janet Whitton. Janet, good to have you with us. And what can we say? You've got to love cricket. That was an outstanding game. I think both teams can be very proud.
I think that's what we take out of it now, you know, sort of half an hour later when we've recovered from the disappointment. But it was an extraordinary game of cricket, despite the disappointing result, because it was so close all the way through. Except for the first probably 10 overs or even 5 overs of the New Zealand innings, when Brendan McCullum seemed to be taking us apart when we thought it was all going to be over in about 15 overs. But it was so close, and everything that is good about the game of cricket and the reason that we love it so much, that was all there.
And looking at New Zealand, I back them to win this now because, well, I actually want to see them win this because they've been the most consistent throughout the tournament. They were the dark horses in the tournament, and also I'd like to see anybody other than Australia take the cup.
I think there are a lot of South Africans that feel like that. New Zealand have been extraordinary in this tournament. You know, they've had a great build-up to this tournament. This is probably not the greatest New Zealand side ever, but Brendan McCullum has done an extraordinary job in captaining them. They're a unit without exception. The way they play together and the way they kind of come together, the team spirit within that side is extraordinary. And they made a decision right at the beginning that they were going to play this kind of high-risk cricket and see if it worked. And it has worked extraordinarily. Everybody keeps thinking, well, it must fall apart at some stage. Yeah. At some stage, one of those batsmen must not come off. Yeah. But they've managed to do it, and I think it has a lot to do with the unity in the team. And they're not a one or a two-man team. They've got 3 or 4 batsmen that can do it. They're more than just Trent Bolt and Tim Southee as a batting unit. They have a backup as a bowling unit. They have backups there too. So I think they're not a bad team. They're not the greatest team individually, but together and the way they're playing now, I think your money probably should be on them. Yeah, because they've got that unity, as you say, and that consistency. But if you pick apart our game, what could we have done better, especially in those last overs? I mean, we won the toss, elected to bat. So I know there's Duckworth Lewis that came into play, but how could we have ridden on that advantage of winning the toss? The Duckworth Lewis did make a difference. I think it was certainly more to our disadvantage than it was to New Zealand's, because Abby de Villiers and Faf du Plessis were just starting to kind of really take it to New Zealand. And I think that if we'd played 50 overs without the rain, I think we could have got pretty close to 400. It would have been 360, 370 at least. And even if you've got more overs, that's an intimidating target to chase. Having said that, there's not a lot that we did wrong, but Liesl mentioned it in her reports. There were a couple of mistakes that run out of JP Duminy. I think it was JP Duminy's fault in that. Van Berdien was kind of there, and JP Duminy kind of came across him. There was a run out that Quinton de Kock missed. There was a run out chance that Abby de Villiers himself missed, where he dropped the ball and broke the wickets without the ball in his hand, and then he didn't have time. In that situation, in order to run the person out, you've actually got to take the wicket out of the ground, and he didn't have time to do that. So we made a few mistakes, but having said that, in between that, they put their bodies on the line. They really did. So I'd hesitate to say we did anything wrong. We just came up against a really good side, playing at home. The atmosphere was amazing. They had the crowd on their side. You know, it was a difficult task, and we came so close. All right. Well, we're very proud of them indeed, and it's a pity that we didn't get through there. But Janet, thank you very much for your time. Janet Whitton, our Deputy Sport Editor.